I need to correct something from my previous video. I showed an extraction worksheet and talked about a sample labeled Q1.1 as if it were the Q1.1 sheath extract from case M 2022-4843. That was my mistake. On that worksheet, the Q1.1 I pointed to actually belongs to a different case number. It's Q1.1 from another case. That just happens to be the same batch. It has nothing to do with the Q1.1 from the sheath in the Idaho 4 case. So what this page really shows is something very normal in DNA labs. Multiple cases being extracted in the same batch. Case 4230, case 4843, case 2325, and so on. All run together on the EZ1 sheet. I still believe when we're talking about trace DNA, it matters. Different cases are processed side by side, and it matters how we read this paperwork. But I misattached that specific Q1.1, and I don't want anybody to repeat that same mistake. The takeaway lesson here is actually a good one. Never look at the Q number by itself. Always read the full sample name, case number, plus Q number, because every case has its own Q1.1. I'm leaving the original video up for general education, but this is the corrected reading of that worksheet. And I want to be clear that error is on me, not the lab. Zooming out a bit, the lab's own paperwork also shows failed quant standards and later ILS failures with reruns. That doesn't automatically mean the final profile is wrong, but it does tell us they were working under less than ideal conditions and had to push the system to get there. That's typical of trace DNA, and it's one reason we should be cautious about treating the final profile and statistic as a simple, rock-solid smoking gun. The story for the Q1.1 extract actually goes like this, under case number M 2022-4843, 11/18/2022. The initial quantitation plate for Q1.1 fails its standards. That doesn't automatically corrupt the extract, but it flags instrument setup problems at the very first step after extraction. That same day, the 3130 capillary run for Q1.1 through Q1.4 has an internal lane standard failure. The ruler used to size peaks doesn't behave. The first attempt to actually read the DNA is unusable. 11/19/22. A second analyst re-injects the entire plate. From that moment on, Q1.1's good data lives on a salvage run, not a pristine first pass. The bigger issue I'm trying to highlight is this. The labeling system is dense and unforgiving. So case numbers and Q numbers can differ by 1 digit. So outsiders and even insiders under pressure can easily misread them. Good labs try to control for that with barcodes, plate maps, and two-person verification. But sample swaps and clerical errors are a known risk category in forensic science. This is why independent review matters. Someone outside the originating lab needs to be able to trace a single item, like Q1.1, from collection through every plate and STR mix run, without getting lost in the lookalike labels. This correction is my own misreading of the specific Q1.1. The larger point is still the same. Trace DNA lives in a very technical, very fragile space. The way we label, run, and explain it deserves just as much scrutiny as the headline statistic at the end of the pipeline. You know the one. The 5.37 octillion.